Hi, Coco. Yeah, let's get into the cellar. Woo, Waterloo and some water. Nice, really nice. You load it like this. If it turns out bad, now it's not just on me, it's on all these people too. It needs to be
an abusive day
on that mud mixer. Oh God, I gotta get out of here. Might have made an oopsie. Day 28, we gotta get started. Let's get into the cellar. Woo! I'm gonna try something new today. So I get pretty thirsty down here. It's long days. I brought some Waterloo and some water and some other goodies with a little bit of ice in there. This ice, I don't have a cooler for this little bit. It's about 20 degrees cooler in the back of the cellar until it starts to warm up as you get outside. So I'm thinking I store this in the back. I don't have my window in, so I could just put this back here. I think today is probably gonna be at least a 12-hour day, kind of get warmed up for a 24-hour day. But whatever I don't get done today, it's my last new part of the projects here on day 28. There shouldn't be anything new going in other than stuff that I already know how to handle or how to do. So today is going to be very telling on what I actually need to do on the last 2 days, day 29 and day 30. I already didn't post, for several months. Took a little hiatus, had some life stuff going on. One thing I'm committed to is getting this done in the 30 working days at least, right? I'm going to try my darn hardest to do it, even if I have to push myself a little hard. The stucco came out pretty good. It's pretty solidified. I think I'm going to be able to make that right, make it finished. I have a new idea for the top, so I'm not worried about that. I got the light. I got a big giant pallet of mortar, and I'm going to resurface this floor. They make kits at Home Depot for resurfacing, but they're just so darn expensive. I'm going to just use mortar and do it that way. I think I can get a nice finish, put a sealer on it. This is not going to have heavy traffic. I'm hoping to get a pretty big transformation today. I have all of my cedar planking. I hope it's enough. It was the last one at Home Depot, so we'll see. I'm hoping this entire cellar is now planked in cedar here at the end of the day. But there's only one way to find out. Go to work for 10 hours and see where we end up. All right. We're gonna use these sealers today and hopefully get the ceiling looking wet because the texture is so cool. I like it, it's growing on me. I think it would look great with this stuff. Wet look from Sealcrete. I'm gonna give it a try, see if it works. First thing I wanna do is broom the top, make sure that there's any fine dust on it. I'm not gonna be doing a perfect job on it, but I just wanna make sure, see if there is any dust up there. I feel some stuff falling on me, so it's a good thing I'm doing this. Now this I will be using a face mask for. Isn't that nice? Casa de Gary actually doing something right for once. Well, you can already see the difference between the two. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Let's get that other side done. Can number 2. Wow, this thing reduces the smell in here like crazy. Probably a good thing I wore this. thinking I might have to do another coat, but as far as ease of application, you can't really get any easier than that. It's in a spray can already for you, pre-mixed, has a really nice nozzle, and you're able just to really just fan it on. I got my pieces up on the wall, and you can see I left one blank right there because the wall is a little uneven on this side, and that's why I'm addressing the problem wall first. The other wall is going to be fine. This wall kind of determines everything else I do. I can either go long ways with my cedar planks or I can go vertical. I think horizontal will be the best because this is a small space. It's a small cigar cellar. If I use horizontal planks, it'll make this space look really long. It looks like you can walk all the way to the back. It looks more like a tunnel. If I go vertical, I mean, at least what
ChatGPT told me.
was it's gonna make your ceilings feel higher, but the ceilings are already pretty high, but it's gonna feel smaller this way. So I'm kind of playing around where I wouldn't start right here in the middle, but I'm only using a few screws. And why am I using finished screws is because rather than a Bradley nailer to just get them on there nice and quick, is because once the screws are in there, if there's a slight deviation in the wall, I can actually adjust it with screws. However, that kind of defeats the purpose because I eventually have to hang all of my racks on here, and that's not going to be very strong if I have this much space on each screw to make this wall perfect. So it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma for sure. So I was just going to show a little bit of what I was looking at. So this is the horizontal with these backer boards. I'll be able to get these looking okay, and from a long distance look, you can already tell this will make the cellar feel really long. It gives a cavity behind for airflow, which is important. However, I also have to make a cut because these planks aren't 15 feet long, they're 8 feet long. I can cut each one and go half to half and have a single center seam. Only way I've done it is with flooring, and you're supposed to stagger things. That's just, I don't think it's doable with the time frame. And so right now I'm gonna try and change it from this long ways and see if vertical would look okay, because that would be the easiest. Then I could put it directly against the wall and it'll follow the exact, and I actually get the most amount of space even though it might not look like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. You're probably wondering, oh, there's a big gap at the top. So actually I have a different plan for the bottom, but these will go all the way up. Then I'll have space on the bottom for something different. Basically, if you can see here, that's the vertical. This is the horizontal. The horizontal definitely is gonna make it look longer, but AI still has its mix-ups. It doesn't really work that great. This actually looks kind of realistic. If we zoom this in, right here, we can see it's kind of a crisscross action, whereas these ones, long ways, continue the same way. I think I'm just gonna have to make an executive decision and go with it. So I have made a decision. I'm gonna go vertical, and that means I need to change
A whole bunch of things.
Oh man, might have made an oopsie. I decided to run to Home Depot and get one of these ram setters. I've never used one of these before. So I think it's important I read the instructions and not wear my sunglasses, but wear their actual safety goggles. So I'm gonna take some time to read this and make sure I don't hurt myself. I was just raving about this ram set and using how much easier it is than drilling all the concrete holes, and it wasn't even recording.
Oops.
This thing is awesome. So this isn't open, so it's nice and safe. It still has a primer in there, but this closes it. This stays open. This is a little guard. This thing is fun to use. This is a big boy and a big girl tool, and I'm never doing anything concrete without it. I'm using 2.5 inches. I used to 1.5 and it didn't quite work for me. So you just put this guy in there. You're all set to go. You close this almost there, and then you don't close it until you get all the way up to the wood. Press into the wood. Good view of this. Yeah, boom. Now you got it up there. Now you take your level and you just put it on there. Get that open. Level it. Like that. Now you're ready for your next one. You grab another bullet while it's open. Put that in there. Halfway and you're ready to go again. Yeah. The guard always comes out a little bit. Oh, I guess not. That was 10. I thought it was either a dud or not. So, grab another one. And load it like this. There you go. Nice, 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 very nice. Okay, so I asked everybody if I should have my cedar planks like this one behind me all the way up to the ceiling or set back a few inches so we can put a strip light along the entire length and shine up on the ceiling. It's pretty clear that the voting is in and 78% to 22%. So I think it would have looked good either way, but that's pretty clear to where I can get started and feel confident that if it turns out bad, now it's not just on me.
It's on all these people too.
So I was able to get my backing boards on and we did a test section right here and I'm happy with it. It's coming out really nice. Now that one only had the hammer sets set into them and I have a problem over here on this side. On this side, I used along the top rail of everywhere else other than the door entrance, I have these hex bolts, these lags into the concrete anchors. And as you can see, it's not gonna allow the wood cedar planks to be flush along there. I'm not sure if I should replace all of them with the hammer set. They're just nails. And so I am a little worried that without a screw and anchor into the actual concrete, I don't want them to fall and come off the wall. Now, most of the weight's gonna be pulling them directly down. So it shouldn't, but I just know that these anchor screws are stronger than the hammer set nails. And these are mostly meant to go down for putting a piece of wood onto a slab. Not sure if I want to trust putting my racking and all my cigars onto these with the chance of them being able to fall off. But I'm thinking, let's just see how it looks. You know, you actually can't really tell. That's awesome. And there's one right there. Oh man. Once I pin those ones down, it will. But when they're just out like that, they aren't. I think the only way to figure this out is I just start in this corner right here and work my way around. And when I get to it, I'll be able to know right then and there, and I only lose one plank taking it off, undoing the screw, and doing hammer sets along the whole way. So we're just gonna have to see. I wish I could put a scratch and sniff in these videos, but I can't. But this smells really good. It's non-aromatic cedar, but it smells like cedar in here. I'm glad I did not do any sort of aromatic cedar. A few more planks left on this side, and then I'm gonna be able to account and see if I bought enough of this planking to do the whole cellar. And you're probably wondering why I chose to go vertical. I originally did all the backing, probably lost 2 or 3 hours of time by having my backing go vertical, and I was gonna go horizontal like the AI image I had in the very first day. I very quickly realized that I'm very close to not having enough of this material, and if I had to go sideways, it's not a solid piece from top to bottom, and I would have to be cutting tons of pieces, and I would have a bunch of different joints. I'd have to choose a seam, and I just wouldn't have enough material, and it would take a lot of time to have to do all those individual cuts like you would do flooring. So what I've decided is I'm going vertical because it's almost the exact height of the cellar. Now you're probably wondering, but Gary, what are you gonna do with this gap down here? That looks bad. This floor is gonna get resurfaced. I need to bring it up about 1 inch. And so I'm gonna chip some of this away, but I'm gonna be about here. I'm gonna run my electrical underneath this area here. And as a little tiny finishing touch, when I do my final piece of mortar, I'm actually gonna have a bottom crown molding here. Either I could do wood or I can even do the natural stone from the outside and do one layer along the bottom. So the cellar looks like it's rock on the outside and it's rock on the bottom, simply covered with this cedar planking. It just goes into the earth. I'm gonna just see if I have that much rock and that'll probably determine whether or not I do a wood, floor crown molding. I guess that's crown molding is the top. Baseboard, basically. So we'll see if I have enough. We'll end up seeing what we have to do.
Where's the window?
Gary's a sensitive guy, and some people said it was a stupid idea to put a window underground. Being sensitive, I just decided I'm gonna board it up. We don't need no
Cool rocks in the background.
We'll finish this. We only have a little bit more to go, and this took much longer than I was expecting. I was hoping to do about 4 or 5 hours of rock work on the outside for the arch, but where'd the time go? It went in here. I'm sure some people are gonna be a little antsy. Where's our video? It's 8 p.m.
Where's our video?
Okay, there she is. We have cedar walls, non-aromatic. If they were aromatic, would have gone crazy. We're gonna go with the lighting all above here. We are looking pretty good for inside. I have some trim pieces I need to make for the corners. We got rid of the window because some people thought it wasn't a good idea. So, we just gotta get rid of the window. I got my molding done over there. I have my power coming in from the top up there. And I'm gonna be able to wedge this behind the door. And then my idea is to get it down to the bottom and then come up underneath, put an outlet down here, and then have a cord for the strip lights run up to the top. And then now that gives us access to the entire top there. So I'm feeling a little guilty that the only thing I have to show for day 28 is having the cedar planks done. It took a long time to drill into the concrete. I needed to probably go and get the ram set to be able to just fire a nail into the concrete on day 1 of doing day 28. I started doing it with the drilling, and 2-3 hours in, I realized 1, this is really slow. 2, I did all my backing furring strips vertical, and that wasn't going to work for the cellar. I had to change it up, and I had to take away all the 2.5-3 hours of work that I did and start over. It was still about 2.5 to 3 hours to get all the new furring strips on, use the ram set, and then just start doing the planks. And so by the end of the time I'm done with the planks, it's 10-12 hours later. Even though they're only the planks being done, it was a good 12-hour day down here, and it is hot as heck. And I am ready to go up, upload a video for you guys, and just come back strong the next day, and need to do a big day. Day 29 is next, and it needs to be
An abusive day on that mud mixer.
we need to finish the pallet of concrete that I have, finish the rock wall behind me for the rock arch. We need to also re-pour the floor in here. We got rid of the window, so that's good. And then after that, day 29, who am I kidding? That's already like 15 hours of work right there, just what I described. So we're just gonna have to get through that on day 29, and hopefully day 30 is putting lights in, putting the door in, sealing the floor, maybe doing some light work out here, cleaning all this up, bringing down 6 yards of gravel that gets delivered tomorrow, and making a nice seating area here. So if you don't think I'm working on this week, it's far from it. I want to at least get this area nice so we can have a really nice grand finale and show off the cellar in its hopefully completed state. So gravel's coming, day 29. I'm just going to try my hardest to do the longest, hardest day I can, stay hydrated. It's supposed to be over 100 degrees tomorrow. So I'm just going to just work and see where I come out at the end. And if it ends up being 31 days, so be it. But I'm going to try my darn hardest to get this done in the 30-day format as I can. I might wait a few days for the finale, let everybody catch up, and then post the finale, which I have some really grand plans for. Oh, Did you notice my shirt? It's the Cigar Cellar t-shirt with a Casa de Gary logo in the front. Do you want one? It's in my bio. They're 25 bucks plus shipping. If you'd like to support the channel and get something out of it that's important to me, you guys can get a shirt as well.